Imagine this. You're sitting in a cozy Japanese apartment. Your friend's mother has spent hours cooking a homemade meal just for you. The table is full of beautiful dishes, perfectly arranged. You take a bite of something unfamiliar, and honestly, you don't like it. So you do what feels natural. You smile and say, it's not really my taste. You're not trying to be mean, you're just being honest. But suddenly the room feels different. Your friend's mother goes quiet. She smiles politely, but she doesn't take more food herself. Your friend changes the subject quickly, and you can feel it in the air. Something went wrong. All you did was tell the truth. So why did it feel so wrong? In many countries, especially in the West, honesty is seen as a virtue. "I'm just being honest" is often used as a badge of honor. The more direct, the better. You're taught to speak your mind, to say how you really feel, and to see that as being strong and authentic. But in Japan, that exact same behavior can be seen as rude, insensitive, and sometimes even dangerous to your relationships, your reputation, and your career. In this video, we're going to explore why being too honest in Japan doesn't make you brave. It can actually make you someone people quietly avoid. We'll look at how honesty works differently in Japanese culture, how it can backfire in friendships, at work, and even online, and what you can do instead so you don't accidentally hurt people without realizing it. Let's start with something very important. Honesty is not bad in Japan, but the style of honesty is completely different. In Japan, there's a famous idea, Honne and tatemae. Honne means your true feelings. Tatemae means the public face you show to keep harmony. In many Western cultures, you're encouraged to bring your Honne out into the open. You're expected to say what you really think, even if people don't like it. That's called being real. But in Japan, constantly showing your Honne can feel selfish. People are not asking, "Is this your pure truth?" They're asking, "Will what you say disturb the peace?" So a lot of daily life in Japan is about balancing inner truth with outer harmony. That's why being too honest can be dangerous. It can break that balance. Think about it this way. In your culture, not saying what you think might feel dishonest. In Japan, saying everything you think might feel aggressive. One of the biggest dangers of blunt honesty in Japan is making someone lose face. Imagine you're in a group meeting and someone makes a small mistake during a presentation. In some countries, you might directly say, "This number is wrong," or "That doesn't make sense." To you, that's being helpful. You're fixing the mistake. But in Japan, especially in a group setting, that direct call-out can feel like a public humiliation. It's not just the information that matters, it's how you make the other person feel in front of everyone. So instead, people might say things like, "There might be a small difference here," or "Maybe we should double-check this part later." The point is to correct the mistake without attacking the person. If you're too honest, too direct, people might not say anything to your face. They won't argue with you. They may keep smiling, but inside they might feel embarrassed, hurt, and uncomfortable around you from then on. Another danger is disturbing group harmony. Japan is a very group-focused society. At school, at work, even among friends, the group's comfort is often more important than one person's opinion. So let's say you're at a team dinner with coworkers. Everyone is eating, laughing, talking. The food is not great, but nobody says anything. It's clear people know it's not the best restaurant, but they keep the mood light. Then you say, with full honesty, "Wow, this place is really bad. The food is terrible." Does that feel honest? Yes. Does it help anyone? Not really. Does it change the atmosphere? Yes, completely. Now everyone has to react to your comment. Some people may feel awkward. Someone might feel bad if they chose the restaurant. The warm, light mood becomes heavy, all because you spoke a truth that didn't need to be spoken. In Japan, people often avoid that kind of heavy honesty. They might say, "It's okay," or "Maybe next time we can try another place," instead of harsh criticism. If you often speak in a way that changes the mood like this, people might see you as what the Japanese call kuki yomenai, which literally means cannot read the air, someone who can't sense the atmosphere. And in Japan, being labeled KY is dangerous. It doesn't get you arrested, but it can get you quietly excluded. Let's talk about some everyday situations where too much honesty can really backfire. First, comments about appearance. In some cultures, you might casually say, "You look tired, you gained weight," or that hairstyle doesn't suit you, and it's seen as straightforward, maybe even caring. In Japan, these kinds of honest comments can feel very harsh. People generally avoid talking directly about others' bodies, weight, or flaws. If someone has changed their hairstyle, people will often just say, "Oh, you changed your hair," or "It looks nice," even if they don't love it. So if you march in with, "That haircut is not good on you," thinking you're being honest, you might actually hurt them more than you realize. Next, food and hospitality. Food in Japan is often connected to care, effort, and politeness. If someone cooks for you or treats you to a meal, it's not just about taste, it's about respect and relationship. So if you say, "I don't like this," or "This tastes bad," it can feel like you're rejecting the person, not just the food. Instead, Japanese people might soften it. "I'm already full," or "I usually don't eat this kind of dish," or they'll just eat a little and say thank you. The goal is to protect the other person's feelings, even if the food is not your favorite. Money is another sensitive area. In some places, being honest about your salary, your rent, or how much something costs is normal. People openly compare numbers. In Japan, this can feel very uncomfortable. Asking someone how much they earn, how much their apartment costs, or bragging honestly about how much you make can come across as boastful or rude. Money talk is often quiet, indirect, and private. Now let's look at where honesty can become especially dangerous: the workplace. At work in Japan, hierarchy, respect, and harmony are critical. Your words don't just reflect you, they affect the whole team. Imagine you're in a meeting and your boss presents an idea you strongly disagree with. In some cultures, you might honestly say, "I think this plan won't work," or "This is a bad idea." In Japan, saying that directly to your boss in front of others can be a big problem. Even if you're right, the way you say it matters. A more acceptable way might sound like, "I have a small concern about one part of the plan," or "Maybe we could also consider another approach." You gently introduce doubt without attacking the person. If you ignore this and keep being brutally honest, your coworkers may silently think this person is risky. They may not involve you in delicate projects. Your boss may stop trusting you in public situations. Another example is saying no directly. In some countries, no is clear, simple, and respected. In Japan, a direct no can feel very strong. People often use softer phrases like, "It might be difficult," or "I'm not sure if I can," or "Let me think about it." So if your boss asks, "Can you stay late and help with this?" and you answer quickly with, "No, I don't want to," that level of honesty can be seen as uncooperative, even if you have a good reason. And then there's feedback. If you come from a culture where giving constructive criticism is considered helpful and mature, you might think you're doing someone a favor by pointing out their weaknesses directly. In Japan, feedback is often wrapped in soft language and balance. People might say many positive things and hint gently at one negative. If you jump in with, "This is bad, you did this wrong, this part is weak," your honesty may feel like an attack. Let's move to the online world. On social media, in many countries, people are used to bold opinions, hot takes, and strong comments. Saying "this is trash" or "only an idiot would believe this" might be normal on some platforms, even if it's harsh. In Japan, that kind of direct online honesty can feel even more aggressive because people are used to polite, indirect communication. In group chats, online communities, or comment sections, if you're the one being super honest all the time, criticizing, correcting, calling things out, people might not argue with you. They might just quietly block you, leave the group, or decide you're not someone they want to interact with. The tricky part is this: you might never be told. In Japan, people often avoid direct confrontation. So when you cross a line with your honesty, you might not get a clear warning. No one will sit you down and say, "You were too harsh." Instead, invitations stop coming, messages slow down, people keep their distance. On the surface, everyone is still polite, but the relationship is damaged. So what can you do? Do you have to lie all the time? No. You don't have to betray your values to fit in. But you might need to change how you express those values. First, soften your language. Instead of saying, "You're wrong," try, "I see it a bit differently." Or, "Maybe there's another way to look at this." Instead of, "I don't like this," say, "It's a little different from what I usually prefer," or "I'm not very used to this style." The meaning is similar, but the impact is much softer. Second, think about the group, not just your truth. Before you speak, ask yourself a simple question. Will saying this actually help anyone, or am I just satisfying my own need to be honest? If what you're about to say will embarrass someone in front of others, maybe you can say it privately instead. If your honest opinion will completely change the mood for the worse, maybe it's not necessary to share it right now. Third, choose the time and place. Honesty in a group can be dangerous. Honesty in private can be healing. If you need to give real feedback, try to do it one-on-one, gently, with kindness. A quiet conversation after a meeting is often better than a bold statement during the meeting. Fourth, learn to read the air. Pay attention to silence, to vague phrases, to the tone in the room. If everyone is being indirect, there's a reason. If people say, "It might be difficult," they might really mean no. If people pause and avoid answering directly, they might be uncomfortable. Reading the air is a skill, and it takes time. But the more you practice, the less likely you are to crash into people with your honesty. Now, here's something important. There are times when honesty is deeply appreciated in Japan. In close friendships, over time, people might open up and share more of their honne, their true thoughts. Quiet, carefully chosen honesty can become a sign of trust. If someone asks you sincerely, "What do you really think?" in a private setting, being honest but still kind can actually strengthen the relationship. Also, when there's a serious problem, something that could hurt someone or damage a project, not speaking up can be worse. In those moments, it's still important to tell the truth. You just need to do it with care, humility, and timing. So is being honest bad in Japan? No, but being too honest, loud, blunt, and untimed can be dangerous. Not because you'll get arrested or fined, but because you can slowly lose something far more valuable: trust, respect, and connection. In your home culture, you might feel proud saying, "I just say it as it is." In Japan, people might quietly think, "This person says too much and doesn't understand us." The real skill is not choosing between honesty or lies. The real skill is learning how to tell the truth in a way that protects the relationship, not just your ego. So next time you're in Japan, or talking with Japanese friends or coworkers, try this. Slow down before you speak. Ask yourself, is my honesty kind? Is it necessary? Is this the right moment? You might be surprised how much smoother your interactions become when you mix truth with gentleness. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever been too honest in Japan or with Japanese people? Did you notice a strange reaction afterward? Or have you seen moments where someone's blunt comment completely changed the mood of the room? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone avoid making the same mistake. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it so more people can discover it. Subscribe for more videos about life in Japan, culture shocks, and the invisible rules no one explains to you. And if you're planning to visit or live in Japan, remember, it's not about hiding who you are. It's about learning a new way to be honest, one that protects harmony and deepens your relationships instead of breaking them.